You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast, and this is show number 222 for Sunday the 12th of August 2018.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my good friend Jayne Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, my gorgeous one.
Hello there, darling. How are you?
I'm very, very good, and as this has been released on the 12th of August, some people might have realised we've recorded this a little bit in advance because the 12th of August is the day that big grey bird is flapping its wings and taking me to Orlando.
Yeah, and as clever as you are, Michelle, you can't actually be in two places at the same time, can you?
True. So we are recording this a little bit earlier. So for those of you who sort of know where I am, my summer is crazy because I was trying to fit in little things with all of the children to sort of make it so that I had some time with them in the holidays because Kieran had his choice. He could have had his first year of university accommodation paid for or come on a Disney trip.
I'm guessing he went for the former.
I think he went with the first year of university accommodation, bearing in mind it's £500 a month.
Yeah, I think you've come out of that kind of the wrong way, Michelle, to be fair.
Well, yeah, even with the food he would have consumed on Disney trip, it would have been cheaper for him to come with me. But hey-ho. And then daughter number one, Bryony and I have just been over on a flying trip to Amsterdam, which was lovely. Where we got to spend a lot of time together on the glorified cruise. It was a car ferry that he slept on, but it was lovely to have that quality of time. And we had 4 hours in Amsterdam. And yes, before you ask, I did get the Amsterdam Starbucks mug.
Did you really?
I was presented with a dilemma because they have a Netherlands mug and they have an Amsterdam mug, and it was like, well, do I buy them both?
Well, did you?
No.
Oh, I am surprised.
I know. It's mainly down to the fact that the shelf is getting very full and I want to fill it with the Disney ones.
You need an extension for your shelving unit, Michelle.
I think I'm going to be selling off my Vinylmation collection to make room for the Starbucks collection.
Wow.
I know. So, and then obviously my other daughter, Emily, she wanted to go and see Wicked with her partner. So we went and saw that. And then we went to our favourite American diner.
Oh, you lucky person, you. Billy Bob's.
Yeah, but it wasn't lucky for me. I got to sit and watch them have my favourite burgers and fries and raspberry milkshake. And I was very restrained because I've decided I had to get these last couple of pounds off before my holiday. So I've got some space for the Disney food.
You were a good girl then, were you?
I had mint tea.
Wow. Just mint tea. Bless you.
Tea. I know. I'm being really good at the moment.
Oh, good on you.
So how's your holidays going through anyway?
I'm okay so far. I've been doing a little bit of work because unfortunately the way my job works, although it's education like Michelle's, it's I do actually work for a preschool that's a registered charity. So that does kind of involve me getting involved with bits and bobs when I'm supposedly on holiday time. But that's all good stuff because we've been given money recently, so we're getting exciting things like new carpet. It's ever so exciting. The only other thing I've really done is I've started work on my next tattoo.
I've seen. It looks amazing.
It's an interesting one to have done because I've just realised how painful it's actually going to be because it's around my thigh, and it's not just on the front of my thigh. It's all the way round my thigh, and I've kind of realised that the bit that needs doing next is on the inner thigh.
Owie.
Yeah, owie.
And also when you sit down when it's a bit sore as well. Owie.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of standing in a couple of weeks' time when I go back for round 2.
So that's basically a bit of an update on the two of us. And let's hear what's happening this week in Disney history.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Disney History. Let's get started. On the 12th of August 2008, Disneyland Paris welcomed its 200 and millionth visitor, and coincidentally, on this day in 1965, Disneyland welcomed its 50 millionth guest, Mary Adams. In 1932, on the 13th of August, Disney released Mickey Mouse's 44th cartoon, Mickey's Nightmare. This told the tale of the dream where Mickey had married Minnie, but their relationship was terror-filled with an overexcited stork delivery of baby mice who then trashed their home. Also on this day, clearing the existing trees on the site that was to be Disneyland began in Anaheim, California. Now on to the 14th of August, and in 1945 the actor and comic Steve Martin was born in Texas. Steve is a former Disneyland cast member, having worked at Merlin's Magic Shop. Now, something closer to home, and in 2004, a magical night of music and film was held at Roundy Park in Leeds. This saw the Disney Philharmonic Orchestra perform along a variety of film animations. On the 15th of August in 1941, Walt Disney, along with a variety of Disney staff, began their journey to Brazil to start their goodwill tour of South America. Sadly, on this day, the last Merlin sword in the Stone Show happened in Walt Disney World. Moving on to the 16th of August, and in 1954, the fire truck began transportation services on Main Street, USA in Disneyland. Now, I'm going to take a few weeks break now, but I will be back in September. So happy summer to one and all. Goodbye.
Normally at this point I bring in some iTunes reviews, but there isn't any.
Ah.
I can't.
Oh, okay.
But I would like to bring up a topic that a lot of my fellow podcasters have been announcing and talking about on their podcasts, about Disney removing plastic straws from their they're phasing it out by 2019. Okay.
Right.
But I did have a bit of a chuckle, because you know the new EPCOT that they've put into place? You know those lovely little duffies?
Little casey things,
yeah,
yes.
Well, you used to get the duffy on a stick.
Yes.
And they've now brought in this suitcase, which looks super cute.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's not as ideal for me, because it means I'm no longer going to be able to have a duffy on a stick to use as a fan.
Sorry, can I just say that does sound wrong, a duffy on a stick. But anyway, carry on. Yeah.
Yeah. But do you know who the sponsor of the little suitcases are?
No.
Ziploc.
The plastic bags.
The plastic bag people. And they've also taken over sponsorship of Splash Mountain at Walt Disney World.
Oh, okay.
Now, I can see that being a perfect tie-in, because guests now, on a limited availability, each day will get a Ziploc bag to put their valuables in so they don't get wet on the ride.
Aha.
And I think that is genius from Ziploc. Absolute genius.
Yeah, I was just about to say sarcastically, they're going to be handing out Ziploc bags, but hey ho.
Yeah, but the thing that's bothering me is Disney are phasing out plastic straws and bringing in plastic bags. Mm-hmm. And it's a company that makes their money by making plastic.
Yeah, it's a kind of not the circle of life, is it really? It's kind of like the reverse circle of life, if that's such a thing.
Yeah, because we all know over here in the UK, you cannot get a plastic bag in a store unless you pay 5 pence for them.
Yes.
You know, we're trying to cut down and reuse our carriers and buy bags for lives, etc. Now, I did do a little bit of research about Ziploc, and I did find out that they do have a compostable chain of Ziploc bags. So I'm kind of hoping that's the route they're going down with Disney, that they're going to be sort of saying to people, plastic is good if it can be compostable and it breaks down in a certain time period rather than eons and getting caught up into our waterways and deforming the animals that inhabit our waterways as well.
This is what we need, though, isn't it? We need these big companies to actually be doing their research and finding new ways to use products that are out there and making sure that they are recyclable and they're not going to cause problems to the environment. And because as much as we can do at home by, say buying your 5p carrier bag or whatever it may well be, we're not going to have the big impact that these big companies are going to have. And, the likes of Disney need to be supporting and showing that they won't support companies that don't make those efforts.
Anyway, I'll be investigating the Ziploc thing a little bit further when I'm in Walt Disney World. But it sort of led me to think up of a little bit of a couple of questions for you, Jayne.
Oh, right, okay.
And thinking about, over the years, Disney has had a whole range of different sponsors.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, and they've sometimes linked in very well. And I must admit, Splash Mountain and Ziploc have linked in pretty well.
Yes.
And I was just wondering, Jayne, can you think of the sponsors behind these 3 Disney attractions? And the first one I'm going to start with is Mickey's PhilharMagic.
I want to say Kodak.
And you're right, well done.
Ooh. Can I just point out, I did not know about this beforehand, and I have not got any internet up and running. So these are just genuine guesses.
Well done. Next one.
Yes.
Star Tours between 1995 and 2006.
That's very specific, Michelle.
It is very specific. It's an 11-year partnership that sort of ran out of energy, if you could say.
Oh, that's a hint, isn't it?
It is a hint.
Oh, you know what? I'm trying to picture in my head the entranceway, because they always have them up, don't they? And it wouldn't be something like Exxon, would it?
No, you're nearly there with the E. Energizer.
Oh, okay. That's in the batteries, I presume.
Yeah. That's why I said they've run out of energy.
That energy, yeah.
Okay, another one that was a time-specific one. See if you can crawl back to 2 out of 3. The Great Movie Ride between 1989 and 1994.
Oh, now, it was Turner Entertainment, wasn't it? But I don't know whether they were the actual sponsor of it.
They were towards the final days.
Right.
The final sort of year or so, but no. Coca-Cola.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Coca did an awful lot of pavilions and attractions, didn't they, for Disney?
Absolutely, yeah.
Mm.
Moving on, I have got a few little snippets of news that caught my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Paint the Night and the Pixar Play Parade that was supposed to be ending at the end of this summer is going to be extended. And there's no news on what date till.
I was going to say how long for. That's good then. If it's like almost a never-ending date would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Unless there's shipping one over to Walt Disney World,
well,
because we don't have
obviously.
one there.
Mm.
And then foodie news.
We like a bit of foodie news.
Golden Horseshoe,
Uh-huh.
they have mini ice cream sandwiches.
Ooh, what cookie ones?
Cookie ones, so you can have a lovely cookie with ice cream, and it can either be drizzled in caramel or chocolate sauce, or I suppose you can go without the drizzle.
Mm.
And you can have a cookie each, or you can eat the 2, but bearing in mind it's in California and it might sort of melt unless you share it. It's chocolate chip cookies, and they're $6.49 for the duo.
Oh, okay. Quite cute.
Yeah, I just thought it was nice, you know. We all love this little bit of ice creamliness.
Mm.
And I suppose this feeds into the Food and Wine Festival over in Walt Disney World's EPCOT.
Yeah, it's that time again, isn't it?
It is that time again, and the menus were released as of recording anyway. And I thought I'd challenge Jayne to suggest some things that I could possibly try.
Yeah, so can I just say then, Michelle, you did ask me to find 5 items, didn't you?
Yes, please, lovey.
I obviously can't count. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
There might be a tad more than 5, but hey-ho. And also, does it mean that if I've suggested these to you, that you have to try them when you're there?
You're not getting me to eat the snail croissant without, it's not happening. Although I will be in the proximity of someone who will be eating that, and that's our good friend Louis Sutton from Diz Down Under, because he's a bit of an escargot lover, really.
I was just about to say, does he know that? But that's okay then, if he's a lover of those. I will say that I have not got that on my list, Michelle.
Oh, I love you.
You might not want to see what else I've got on it.
Oh, God. Go on. I'm writing it down.
Right. Well, I'm actually going to start off with a drink.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I have gone for an alcoholic one, which I know you may not be to your taste. So I have actually opted for a non-alcoholic as well.
Go on.
See, I'm being kind. So this is a new little booth called Shimmering Sips Mimosa Bar.
Ooh.
So it's new for this year. So the one I've actually chosen, obviously these are all classic mimosas, is a key lime one. So key lime sparkling wine and cranberry juice, which I thought would be nice and refreshing, and a little bit of alcohol going through.
That does sound very nice.
But I thought if I couldn't persuade you with going down the alcoholic route, they are doing a frozen apple pie drink.
Oh, I saw that.
It looks nice, doesn't it?
Where do I have to get this frozen apple pie drink from?
That's also at the Shimmering Sips Mimosa Bar.
Oh, that does sound really good.
See, there you go. So we started off all right then, haven't we?
I did pick an alcoholic beverage of my own.
Really?
I did, because, well, when I think of alcohol, I tend to think of, your nice martini glasses or your champagne. And basically this item I've chosen isn't technically alcohol in my mind because it's a food group.
Okay.
Because Guinness to me is food.
Yeah, it is rather hearty, isn't it?
Yeah. So in the Island Pavilion, you can get a Guinness Baileys shake.
Yes, I did see that.
That's one for Shelley.
Is it really? Ah, okay.
Oh, I love a bit of Guinness.
Now, you see, guys, after all of these years, I learn something new every day about Shell.
You see, I'm a mystery woman.
Yeah, very mysterious.
Go on, what are you having me try next?
Right, so we're going over to Active Eats. Now, I must admit, when I went through looking at, and I have gone through all of the booths, I've tried to be as healthy as I possibly can. So knowing that how you and I, we try to avoid too many carbs, etc., and too much sugars. So I have tried to go down the healthier route for you.
Oh, thank you.
You might not thank me in a minute, but anyway. So over at Active Eats, I've chosen the spice crusted Velasco salmon with warm lentil power salad. I thought you could do with a power salad. Crushed avocado and sherry vinegar.
Ooh, that looks intriguing.
I thought salmon. It's a nice healthy fish. Lots of healthy fats in there. You see, bit of a power salad, keep you going. Avocado is very good for you.
True. The only thing I'm cautious of, and it hits back to last year's Food and Wine Festival, is I got a scallop dish, and the amount of scallop you got was so tiny. So I think with something like salmon, which is a pricey commodity, I'll be looking at the portion sizing before I dip in.
Yeah, good idea though.
Because I'm not paying $7 for something that's going to be minuscule.
Yeah, you want a good couple of mouthfuls at the very least, don't you?
Oh, good God, yeah.
Right, we'll go to Australia next then. There's a little bit of alphabetical order going on here, so I do apologise. Now, I'm sticking with a fishy theme. Mm-hmm. They are doing a grilled sweet and spicy bushberry shrimp with pineapple, pepper, onion and snap peas.
Ooh.
But I have got another option for you, Michelle, because I know what you like about Australia. So if you were feeling a little bit decadent, you could, of course, go for the lamington.
You see, I tried that last year, and to be
honest...
Did you not
like it?
Well, I like my lamingtons in M&M's, not really in the cakey form.
Okay, peculiar.
Yeah, but I'm sure our good friends from Dis Down Under will be munching their way through that.
Well, at least they would be able to tell you whether it was genuine or not, wouldn't they?
True, that's a good one. I will challenge them. And they've got to check out all the Aussie food.
That'd be a good one, yeah, definitely. So I'm going to keep with a bit of a sweet theme now. So I know I'm trying to be healthy, but we're going over to the Chocolate Studio.
Ooh. Now,
there's two on here that I couldn't quite decide between. So you might have to try both of them, Michelle.
Such a hardship.
I know, terrible, isn't it? The first one, this sounds amazing, is the Liquid Nitro Chocolate Almond Truffle with warm whiskey caramel. Or there's a sweet dark chocolate raspberry tart with whipped cream.
The liquid nitrogen truffle they have at the Star Wars Galactic Nights when I did that. I've tried it but without the caramel whiskey. And last year at the same booth they had that dark chocolate ganache tart and it was sublime. It was really good, but it was incredibly chocolatey. So that'll be one that I will be interrogating again. Yes,
I must admit, the combination of dark chocolate and raspberry, it's one of my faves. So I would be tempted probably down that route too.
Okay, so that's 6 you've had so far.
Is
So
that really?
we're doing well for someone working in education who can't count to 5.
Shush. I didn't say I couldn't count. Well, it's not so much I couldn't count. I could count, obviously, folks. I can count. It's just that it was very hard to limit the number that I was choosing.
Go on, carry on.
I've only got, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go. You're all right. I think go round twice. Right, coastal eats. Again, I'm trying to keep nice and healthy here. Mm-hmm. So they are going to do a lump crab cake with Napa cabbage slaw and avocado lemongrass cream.
Okay, I don't mind a bit of crab cake.
I know you're okay with your fishy things, aren't you? So I thought that might be okay. And then we're going to go over to Hawaii because you had to include these because it's probably the law. And that's the Kahlua pork slider with sweet and sour dole, pineapple chutney, and spicy mayo.
Oh, I missed out on that last year. That's definite. I will try that one.
But I thought, well, if you didn't fancy the pork, which, you know, you might not fancy, there is the grilled tuna tataki with seaweed salad, pickled cucumbers, and wasabi cream. So I think I'll be torn. Well, no, I think I'll probably try both of those, to be fair, if it was me.
That's the best thing about the Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah. Now, the next one, Michelle. Sorry. You see, you give me a challenge, and then I spot things, and because I know you, I can't resist putting it on my list, although you'll kill me for putting it on the list.
Just because it's on the list doesn't mean it's going to be eaten. Well,
that's why I tried to say at the beginning that you had to. But this is in Morocco, right? And there's cucumber and tomato and onions and a bit of tzatziki sauce.
Yeah, and please don't tell me this sheep's brain.
No. Oh no, not with that cruel. It's hummus fries. You see, I knew what your reaction would be, but just the little devil in me couldn't resist picking that one. Shall I move on now?
Quickly.
Last one then, Wine and Dine Studio, and this may well be what you tried last year because you mentioned scallops at the top of this little beast, and it is a seared scallops with a truffle, celery root puree, Brussels sprouts, and wild mushrooms. So I don't know, that's what you had last time or not? I don't know.
No, I think it was from a different studio, so that might be a different one to look into.
But again, like you said about the salmon, what's the portion size going to be like, isn't it?
True, because these things are quite an expensive thing to buy. Okay. Well, last year when we went into the Food and Wine Festival, we started with Mexico. So by the time we'd sort of got round a little bit, we sort of was full. So I'm going to suggest that when I go, I want to sort of go via island. Because to me, everything on this island menu is going to be amazing. You've got roasted Irish sausage with colcannon potato and onion gravy. Warm Irish cheddar cheese with a stout dip with Irish brown bread. Warm chocolate pudding with ice cream liqueur custard.
Ooh, yeah, it does sound nice. And then you can have your Guinness Baileys shaker on top of all that, and then you'll be well full, won't you?
Yeah. And in that area, sort of as you're going round to your right, there's the refreshment part. And as I am taking a Canadian with me, and as they are selling poutine, I need his opinion on this very different take on poutine, because they have a sweet potato poutine with sweet potato fries, caramel sauce, mini marshmallows and pecans.
Right. So I suppose actually, because you've got, people with you from various parts of the world, there's going to be a lot of chances to say, well, okay then, is this actually Canadian? Is this genuine Australian fare that they're offering?
I don't think sweet potato poutine is anything going to be like anything they serve in Canada.
Do you think not?
They sold me at pecans and mini marshmallows. And then another one is Taste Track, and they have got the croissant donuts, and they have like cinnamon sugar or chocolate marshmallows, chocolate hazelnut cream, or with sprinkles, and you can add chocolate, hazelnut, white chocolate, raspberry, or vanilla bean gelato for an additional charge.
Or what about the pancake milkshake then, Michelle?
I saw that and I just thought pancake milkshake after a Guinness Baileys shake might not settle too good.
Do you not think so? You wouldn't be riding Test Track after all that, would you?
No. And the final one to me is something that sums up everything I love about my diet at the moment, and that's the marinated chicken with peanut sauce and stir-fried vegetables from Thailand.
Yes, I must admit that one nearly crept onto my list, but I knew I was getting over the 5 at that point, so it didn't actually make the list.
Yeah, because obviously you stuck to the list so well.
I tried, I really did. But there's too much to choose from.
There is. Our good friend Rebecca Mannion posted on Facebook some of the things that she'd like to try. She mentioned the liquid nitrogen, she mentioned the hummus fries, she mentioned the mimosa bar, mentioned the donuts, chocolate experience. She suggested going to Greece and trying out their nachos, and in Japan the chicken bun, and Belgium waffle cream with chocolate and cream. So many amazing things to try. Now, unfortunately, because I fly home on the 2nd, I won't be able to go to the Eat to the Beat concert series, and I didn't really look at the list. And having looked at the list of the bands, I'm glad it's not during when I'm there, because I've heard of none of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's that? Who's playing then?
Well, Mercy Me, and I only know them because they play every year.
All right.
Glass Tiger.
Okay.
Torren Wells.
Nope.
Vertical Horizon.
Nope.
Sheila E.
Yes.
I kind of have heard of Sheila E.
I have seen Sheila E, and she's amazing. Lots of years ago, but yeah, fantastic female drummer, brilliant.
Yeah. Jim Belushi and the Sacred Hearts.
Okay, yeah.
Anderson East.
Nope.
Smash Mouth.
All right, yes, and a Smash Mouth, yeah.
98 Degrees. That'll be obviously the weather. And High Valley.
Yeah, there's only a couple out of that lot, you see, that I'm aware of.
Yeah. Now, there is something I am upset I won't be able to do. Because if you remember last year, I went to one of the special ticketed events that you can do in the festival centre. And it was, I think it was something like $20 odd. Well, this year it's $25. And there's a whole host of different people that are going to be doing these food, wine demos. And one caught my eye. And it's on the 29th of September, 2:30. And the focus is lobster and champagne.
Ooh.
And you've got Scott Hunnell, who's the executive chef over at the Grand Floridian.
Nice.
And Antoine Collette, who is the brand ambassador and the French specialist for Tattinger.
Ooh.
I want to go.
But you're not there.
Well, no, I'm going to be back at home, but...
Yeah.
I can still live in hope someone will take me vicariously. I'm not so keen on the one that's on when I'm there. It's beef and wine. It's a bit like a cut rate version, really. You've got beef and wine. What would be the more downgraded one? Would be baked beans and lemonade, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so you've got your budget level, your moderate level, and then your deluxe level.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was a few things that came to my attention on food and wine. Away from food and wine, it sort of got me speaking, and I know the other weekend when we met up, we were talking a little bit about booking Disney vacations and thinking about the way forward. And I know for yourself it's been a while, and I was just wondering, you know, at some point, is there going to be a time that you would now consider going to Disney, just you and Simon? Because obviously the children are getting up towards being no longer teenagers anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, my long-term plan is that by the time we get to where we are this time next year, my two, and I can't call them children anymore, young adults, will both have finished their respective paths through education. At that point, I need them to be working because they ain't staying here free of charge. The long-term view will be is that, yes, it will make it a little bit more affordable for all of us to go, in that whether that be a case of Simon and I going on our own, or whether it be a case of, well, we'll all go as a family, which would be lovely, and I have no problem doing that. But the two youngest members will be paying for themselves because they'll be having the means by which to do that.
Sounds good to me.
Fingers crossed.
So you'd be looking at possibly 2020?
Yeah, I know we were talking. Us together were talking only a couple of weeks ago. I think we mentioned it on the podcast as well. That element of when is the next opportune time to go to Disney World? Being a Star Wars family here, and we know that Star Wars Land is not going to be open until, what's they saying now, fall 2019, whatever that actually means, with no specific dates being available. So is it more prudent for us to wait until 2020 when we would be able to see Star Wars Land, and it will have been open for probably a good 6 to 8 months at that point? Or is it a case of I'm at the point where I'm going, no, sod it, whatever is open will be open, and we're going next year? I don't know. Ask me again in about 3 months' time, Michelle. I might be able to give you a better answer.
Okay, I will do. I will. I know with my sort of head thinking at the moment, to be quite honest, hand on heart, I have no idea when I'm going to be next going.
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult because coming from the UK, it is not a cheap vacation to do, is it?
No.
I mean, we're both in the same situation that by working in education, we are restricted as to when we can go. And we have to therefore be going at the most expensive times of the year. So, A, it's not cheap, and B, because of when we've got to go, it's no more cheaper either. So we can't even pick a time of the year. Well, okay, then we'll forego opening hours, or we'll forego, certain water parks being open. We'll go at a cheaper time of the year. Yes, we get the benefits of when we go, everything is up and running, and you minimise the amount of downtime on certain attractions. But conversely, we've got the most busiest times of the year to go. We've got the most expensive times of the year to go. So it does make planning, as you say, Michelle, that much harder, because you don't know how prices are going to be in a year's time, let alone 18 months, 2 years' time. What's being very boring about this, we don't know what the impact of things like Brexit is going to be. We don't know what the impact of tariffs, etc., that are happening from the US, what that impact could be, and that could impact our decision making as to whether we even get to go because of the impacts on prices. So it's not an easy decision to make by any stretch of the imagination.
And the dollar's had such a massive hit. It's gone down about 20 cents, which is a big amount over the last sort of year or so. I do know coming up on show 224, which is out on the 26th of August, I talk with Craig Lucas, and he's going through telling us all about planning for his big family trip of 17 people.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just a huge trip that he undergoes planning and organising everything for. I know for me, I'm going through a process of becoming a volunteer in the Army Cadet Force.
Yes, you are, yeah.
I have got final selection weekend at the end of September to see whether I can go on a training course it lasts for about 2 years to instructor with a view to obviously doing that on a voluntary part paid basis. And that is going to involve commitment with regards to weekends, with regards to evenings, but it's going to take away my free time in the summer holidays, such as Easter and the 6 weeks in the August-July time, because that's when they have their 2-week big camps. So I don't know if next year I'll be able to fit a holiday in, because that's a commitment that I'm making. So I just don't know now.
Our circumstances probably, it is slightly unusual, the fact that we are in education, therefore we haven't got that time at other points in the year to take the time to visit these places. And it does become, that work-life balance, whatever you want to call it. But if we've got things, unfortunately, there are more things to life than Disney, if I'm allowed to say that. So it does mean that if you want to pursue another hobby or another activity, that could have a knock-on effect on your Disney time.
Yeah, you have to be realistic about these sorts of things as well. that, you know, there are other things and other challenges that you'll come across in your life, and you have to look at the bigger picture. But I'm going to be tempted on that Disney cruise to book another one on a bounce back deal where you get, you know, a certain amount discount and, you know, all of these sorts of room credits and things. So I don't know, I might come back and say, hey, I've booked a Disney cruise, and then I've no idea of when I'm actually going to be able to take it.
Well, I'm sure you'll find a way, Michelle, and it wouldn't surprise me if you did come back saying, guess what I've gone and done.
Whatever you do when you're planning your vacation, and Craig will discuss this on the show I do with him, search around and get the best deal for you. And everybody's circumstances when they're planning a trip is going to be different.
Yeah.
Whether you're going with family, whether you're going on your own, whether you're going with friends. And there are so many different ways. I know on last week's show, Tiffany was talking about staying at a Good Neighbour hotel. And that might be something worthwhile doing because you do get a lot of the Disney benefits. I know that you can book DVC by request via Dave's Vacation Club. That saved me a lot of money. So if you're wanting to get a luxury product but pay moderate prices, that's an idea. Or completely going off-site to get in just to be able to have the magic and just not be that fussed about missing out on the extra magic hours or the fast pass booking. That could save people quite a lot of money. But again, I think it's something that we need to look at, and also look at planning Disneyland, because I do get asked quite a lot how to go about doing that and what is the right amount of time for Disneyland. And it is completely different kettle of fish.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But I think what we'll do is we'll wrap this up now. If you're not already following the Disney Dream Girls on Twitter or Instagram, please hop on over to @DisDreamGirls, as I will be posting content as much as I can over there. I will be also trying to do some Facebook Live from the parks when I'm there. So again, if you're not following our Facebook page, please do so by finding us on facebook.com/Disney Dream Girls. As usual, you can get in touch with us. Our usual email is info@DisneyDreamGirls.com. You can also message us on Facebook as well. That's another method. But until our next show, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.